Hi, guys. Today, my guest is the founder and the head of the Great Leopard Kung Fu Academy in Aventura, Florida. He's an active member of the Florida Wushu League, the International Punsing Gymnasium, and has been teaching Choy Kung Fu from Bolivia to Brazil and now in Aventura, Florida. Please welcome Sifu Gio Antonietta. How are you today, sir?
Thank you, my brother. How are you? I'm doing okay. Thanks so much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much for being here, sir. I know you've had a very, very interesting career in Kung Fu. As I said, you're originally from Bolivia, and then you went to Brazil, and you've been teaching Chole from. I'll leave that up to you for you to fill us in on those details. But we have six questions, and but they're very short. Just to get a brief intro to your life and see how if anybody would like to follow in footsteps, as I said before. So if you don't mind me asking, Gio, how did you get started in the martial arts? And was it with Choy Kung Fu, or did it start with something else?
Well, I used to live in Bolivia. I did primary school over there until 1984. By the time I was always interested in martial arts because the movies, those all movies, the Shawn Brothers, the Shaolin stuff. So I tried just a little bit of karate, taekwondo, but nothing is related to the do disciplines, judo, karate do, taekwondo. It fit with me. And eventually a friend of mine told me that they opened a school in La Paz, Bolivia. So I tried it. That is when I met my Sifu, Ernesto Rodriguez, and his brother Edgar Rodriguez, who passed away 2 years ago. So one of the reasons why I started is I was always driven by being a sport, but unfortunately I have some issues with a group of teenagers, a gang, that forced me to try to learn how to protect myself. I started just by option doing Kung Fu, but eventually I realized that Kung Fu is not just fighting. It's a lot of things behind that become part of my life. I've been 38 years training in martial arts. Yeah. Back I would say in 89, because of school, I moved to Brazil. And I was lucky enough that my Sifu also was doing some studies at the university, so he was living. We are living together, so I was able to learn directly from him. And in '96, I immigrated to the United States, to California, and eventually in 2000 to Miami. During the period we were in Brazil, together with my Sifu, we were already teaching martial arts. We decided to open a school, but eventually it was closed because both of us left the country, Brazil, right? So for that first group of students, I still have contact with some of them. Two of them, they become instructors of Sifu. One of them living right now is in Germany, Kiss, and the second one is in Singapore. So when I moved to the United States, I continued training by myself for a period of time, and eventually we meet each other when I was training with Lee Kung Hu. Lucky me, because my job-related activities, I'm an engineer. I started to travel to Asia for quite a while. Upon request, meet Sikon Pongshim, I was able to practice in Hong Kong with the renowned Pongshim Sikon, right? That was the period from 2007 to 2015 when he passed away. During that period, I also moved to Houston for 6 years, and I was teaching there, but it was more like individual classes. And when I moved back in 2016, beginning of 2017 to Miami, I decided to engage myself and teach. And there is where I decided to open the Great Leopard Kung Fu School and start to teach all ages the Choy Li Fat. A Choy Li Fat is the only, I would say, Kung Fu style that I always practice from the beginning. So I know a little bit of Hung Gar because the interchange with some certain Sifus, but the discipline I've always been involved with is Choy Li Fat. Tai Chi, as you know, is through seminars, through my trips to China, to Hong Kong. I was able to follow up some instructors, but not as a discipline, not like Choy Li Fat. I always followed all the curriculum. I keep training, right? But little by little, because the age, I'm moving to Tai Chi and Qigong. In Bolivia, back in 1982, 83, we have some doctors moved from China to Bolivia. They were teaching Tai Chi as a discipline for balance and health, and nothing related to martial arts. So that's where I got the chance to. My first contact with Tai Chi was back in 1984.
Your Sifu in Bolivia was Conway Sanchez?
Yeah, his name is Ernesto Rodriguez Sanchez, but Sicom Pong Shin decided to pass to him the name of Pong Y Sanchez to be part of it. Okay. For him and for us, it's an honor to have him as a part of the Pong lineage. So it's the Sicom, the one that is.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that is what he is known right now, Pong Y Sanchez. Mm-hmm.
You had said you had started Tai Chi with various instructors.
Yes.
And what style was that?
Yang
mostly.
and Chen. Yang.
Yang and Chen.
Yeah, the simplified style. Yang.
With that experience, I do have to ask you right now, okay? Are there similarities between the Yang and the Chen?
When you see on the deeper knowledge of Tai Chi, the breathing itself, the mechanics of both of them are the same, I would say. Similar to some styles of Choy Li Fat and Hung Gar and some martial arts. When you see the essence of the movements and the coordination and how you need to balance your breathing together with the movements, my perception is pretty much the same. The characteristics are different. Some movements, the height, how they open the hands, the movements, how extends are the move of the hands, position of the elbows. But if you go to the deep core of the Tai Chi, the breathing for me is pretty much the same. Which is for me is the most important part of the Tai Chi, right? Be able to generate and move the energy.
Yes, yes.
Mark?
Yes.
It's freezing. We get disconnected. Hello? Mark?
Okay. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So you've also studied a bit of Qigong as well, sir?
Well, I started with the basic one is the Badwa Jing, the 8 bokas, right? I never had the chance to learn the hard Qigong for Kung Fu. You really need to have somebody that guide you through that. But I would say for now it's basically Badwa Jing and Jing.
Okay, very good, very good. I remember one time we met at a park here in Fort Lauderdale, and you were showing me the Badwa Jin, how Qigong benefits the central nervous system, more specifically with the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. To be honest, you're actually one of the first people to ever give me like solidified academic information on Qigong. Right, that was actually before I met my current teacher, and for that I'm eternally grateful, right? Because no one has ever given me like solidified information on Qigong itself and what it can do and and what he should be doing?
In regards of the Tai Chi and the neuroscience, which is something that really fascinated me. I'm not really a doctor, but there is a really correlation between what happens in your neuroscience, how your body reacts to all the chemicals that you are going to use in any event, going from cortisol, adrenaline. When you see the relation of your brain and your breathing, it's very correlated to Tai Chi. The explanations sometimes are different when you talk about energy, but in essence, all the humans beings are going to react the same, right? Parasympathetic system, sympathetic system, and the idea is to understand better how those work and how you, through Tai Chi and Qigong, can improve the correlation between your brain and your body. So I'm still in that journey to learn. There is so many papers coming now. I think the medicine and the doctors and all the community related to health are correlating very close the benefits of Tai Chi in a manner that is easy to explain to the public, because it was very difficult sometimes, even for myself, understand how the Chi flow, right? But if you remove the word Chi as an energy and you go deep on the neuroscience, they are so correlated that it's coming soon. I think everybody will be able to understand quite easily how those work, right? So I'm still in the journey to learn that portion and put it together. So that is part of my commitment, I would say.
That's great. That's great. That's great. I'm actually really happy that you're actually on that path towards more, Tai Chi and Qigong. Even though I know you say it's mostly because of your age and stuff like that, but I mean, being as someone who's really more taken into that internal aspect, and it's years since I've taken that plunge from external to purely internal, and I have no regrets, and I'm thinking, all right. So I'm sure you've already seen yourself that it's that you've seen the benefits, right? And you're actually feeling the benefits personally, feeling the benefits, and I'm glad to hear it. At the same time, I'm not too happy to hear that it's only because of your age. That's quite all right. But my next question is geared towards your Kung Fu background. Is there much of a difference between legal Hong Fat and punch things?
I will say there is subtle difference. There is some difference on the position of the body. On the Pong Shin stream, there is no the Mabu or position. All the positions are pretty much horse stance. All right. There is no the extension of the leg in one position. It's always horse stance, or you go to knee stance or loquaima. So as you can see, the difference is when you see the punching stream is pretty much all horse stance, and then they move to cat stance. You have the twist stance, but the rest is pretty much these three, I would say. And the other difference is the extension of the arm when you execute the Sao Choy or some movement, right? On the Lee Kung Hum stream is really extended, while the Pong-Shin stream is a little bit shorter, right? But in essence, both of them should be executed. The goal should be the same, right? When you reach the adversary, it's hard to say why those difference happen. But at the end of the day, what I see is that you execute it with the transition from your legs to your hip to your body to your shoulder. The movement should have the same power when executed, right? So it doesn't matter if it's one family or another. That is very critical to understand that you need to do increase the power coming from your legs all the way to your shoulder. If you break that in the movement because it's executed, I would say, like in sometimes you see in wushu, right? It's very acrobatic, very, very nice executed. But if you break the movement in Choy Lifat of not connecting your body to your shoulder, there is no power in execution in case of real life. You can look really nice, I would say, extremely beautiful when you do some form, but in real life, you really need to have that connection. So as long as the students understand how to generate the power, I think Pongxing, Li Kung Hu styles are efficient.
Good answer, my friend. Good answer. Now we're getting a little bit more beefy with the question. Kung Fu literally is a Cantonese term that means a skill required over time, right? So what do you personally feel is the hardest part of developing your Kung Fu?
Well, Kung Fu is it's the traditional Kung Fu, right? The big problem that everybody has is understand or interpret what is traditional. If you divide Kung Fu in 3 silos, right? The first silo is the personal goals. The second silo is Kung Fu activities. And the last silo is cultural or social frame. So if you understand those 3, then you have a good idea of what is traditional, and you can move through the years on the training. I think the most difficult part of anybody learning martial art is be persistent, right? Kung Fu, if you compare Kung Fu to other martial art, other activities, let's say compared to music, Kung Fu is like the most elevated part of the music, like orchestra or symphonic music. You have so many elements compared to, let's say, in this case, country music, right? Which is in terms of number of instruments, in terms of arrangement, are really simple, put it that way. So whoever is training martial arts, traditional Kung Fu, he's going to the most advanced in terms of movement. Only Choy Lifat itself, in one form, you can have 48, 60 movements. Maybe all of them are different, right? While some other martial arts is only 6, 7 movements. So be persistent on training Kung Fu. It takes time. It requires a lot of repetition to be able to remember the movements. And you know, right? It's similar to Tai Chi. There's a lot of movements in one routine that sometimes people, they give up because for them it's too difficult to remember. So for me, be able to practice Kung Fu every day has always been the challenge, right? Difficulties is just a matter to, I think you need to have, I will say, you really need to like what you are doing, right? I mean, it's similar to music. If you like rap, or you like any type of music, once you realize that is the type of music you like, it is easy to enjoy it, right? Kung Fu is the same. If you don't sync with Kung Fu, it's gonna be like, oh man, again, do the form again, you know. We saw those cases, right? A lot of kids, they say, no, right, I don't want to do the form. I like only the fighting side, right? So for me, basically, I can sync with the activities I feel comfortable in doing, and that facilitated my life. For me, it was never difficult, put it that way. I like challenge. I like the complexity of the routine. So here I am, almost 48 years later, still training. Right?
That's great. That's great. I completely agree with you, Gio. right? If that's one of the hardest things, it really truly is persistence and consistency. Right? Truly that's something that it's not really taught nowadays. I'm not speaking purely about in the Kung Fu circles. I'm saying like on a broad spectrum of things. It's not highlighted enough. That you have to be persistent. You have to keep going at something. You have to, like it's how should I say it? Like attention spans, right? Nowadays are very fleeting, right? So that's what I would I guess that's one of the reasons why I would attribute that lack of consistency of persistence, right? In today's youth. So I agree with that completely, wholeheartedly agree with that answer, Sifu. Right? But now I have one last question. I can think of not a better person at this time to ask this question to, because you do teach kids. If there was only one thing that you could teach the new generation of martial artists, what would it be?
For me, is results. Show it that effort give you result. I always tell them martial arts is 1% skill, 99% sweating, 99% effort. This is not a magic pill. And I told to everybody the same. Say, some guys, some specific, they have specific skills. Maybe they were born that way. But for me, it's 99% effort. That's it, and 1% skill. So that's what I try to communicate to them. That it's just a matter to participate on the classes, to show up on the classes, be there, and you will see the results. So as soon as they see the result in themselves, right, executing kicks and for people that never were able to leave the foot, right, and you say that you can tape them and say, listen, this is you 3 years ago. Look what you are doing now. Mm-hmm. So for me, what I'm trying to communicate to them is that effort is what is going to pay off. I really believe that if you put all the effort on your exercise and you commit to them, the results are going to be there. Doesn't matter what discipline. And that is Kung Fu. Right? Kung Fu means somebody has mastered an activity. You can be master in music. You can be a doctor. You can be actor or soccer player. You master is by training and training and training and training. That is what I try to transmit them. When you do that, you remove them from other ideas, because we live right now in a society that TikTok, 15 seconds, and they want to move the next to 15 seconds, another thing. And I told them that doesn't work. Life is not like that. I mean, you need to put an effort. You need to exercise. So when they are in class, especially with kids, I try to motivate them and say, okay, we are going to do exercises, we are going to do speed, coordination, and then we are going to do Kung Fu. And when we do Kung Fu, it's time to do Kung Fu. It's not time to do playing. And they understand. Eventually, they start to practice. They put more effort on that portion of the martial arts, and the results, I think, are coming. But I always try to communicate not only to them, but also to the parents, right? That in martial art, they are going to see some immediate result, but the most expected result, it takes more time, right? 6 months, a year. Some fast result is flexibility, speed, coordination. But that, when you want to see the other result that include the values of Kung Fu, which is respect, right, honor, that comes a little bit further. When they understand that they have some benefits, the rest, I would say, it's easy.
It's truly like a domino effect, really. If you want to see the results, you have to put the effort in. And just participating in whatever event is effort in itself. I love that answer. And once again, I completely agree with you, Sifu Gio. Completely, 100%.
Thank you, man.
I do have to thank you, and I will let you go right now so you can go and enjoy your off time, sir.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it.
All right, you have a good night.
Bye-bye.